Good afternoon, everyone. I, Shaista Jamal Kidwai, along with my fellow research scholars from Department of Applied Economics, University of Lucknow, are going to have a discussion over old pension scheme versus new pension scheme. As we all know, pension is a financial security of our old age. Before 2004, we were using old pension scheme. Under old pension scheme, pension used to be a fixed amount that was given to the government employee on a regular basis. But in 2003, old pension scheme was discontinued and new pension scheme was implemented. Now the question arises why old pension scheme was discontinued. The state governments in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Himachal Pradesh and Punjab are switching back to old pension scheme. Now the concern arises, can our states afford to go back to the old pension scheme? Now to understand both the schemes, I would like to ask my fellow speaker Ayush to tell us something about the old pension scheme.
Thank you, Shaista. Now I'll brief about the old pension scheme. Old pension scheme is a retirement scheme approved by the government, which is only for the government employees who had completed at least 10 years of service in the particular department. It provides fixed and guaranteed income to the pensioners, which offers the financial security to them so that they can make their future secure. In this scheme, the pensioner get the benefit of DNS allowance as the pension amount was given on the basis of last drawn salary plus DA. So whenever the DA gets revised, that is twice in a year, the pension amount also got revised according to the prevailing inflation. Also the old pension scheme, the pension is given by the government, so the pensioners or the retirees don't have to contribute or give any single amount to the government whenever they were in the service.
Thank you, Ayush, for telling us about the old pension scheme. Now I would like to ask my fellow speaker Kajal to tell us something about the new pension scheme.
Thank you, Shaista. So I am here to brief National Pension Scheme. As the name itself records that it's for nation's benefit as a whole rather individual benefit. A policy research report by World Bank in 1994 titled Averting the Old Age Crisis gave rise to the worldwide discussion on pension sector reforms, after which lots of recommendations and reports held as a result leads to OPS abolished in India as a part of a pension reform by Union government. Initially, it was launched for government employees except armed forces in 2004, but it was open for all the citizens in 2009. Under this, the employee will contribute 10% of his salary and government will contribute 14% to create a pension fund. It has two benefits. The first, it provides us the retirement planning and tax saving. NPS makes investment in equities, government bonds and corporate bonds. It consists of two types of account. First is the Tier 1 account, which is mandatory which give us the tax benefits and restricted withdrawal. The Tier 2 account, which is voluntary with no tax benefit and withdrawal is allowed under this. Currently, NPS subscribers after turning 60 years can withdraw 60% of their retirement corpus as a lump sum, which is tax free, and 40% goes into by an annuity which will come in monthly payment, which will be taxable as per the tax slab. In October 2023, government introduced SLW, systematic lump sum withdrawal, in which you can convert your 60% corpus into untaxed pension income for the next 15 years, similar to the SWP in mutual fund. So concluding all these points, I am in favor of NPS than OPS. Thank you.
Thank you, Kajal, for telling us the significance of new pension scheme. But I would like to ask one thing. If new pension scheme is the improved version of old pension scheme, then why the policy makers are still using old pension scheme?
Thanks, Shaista. It's a very logical question. I would like to answer your question. As we are well aware that amount of the pension under the national pension system depends on the contribution of the employee and market grows in long term, whereas the tenure of the policy makers such as MP, MLA, PM or CM is short term. It means up to the 5 years. Hence, their contribution will be very less in the NPS and they will also receive very less amount. And it will not be justification with our policy makers who always try to provide huge benefit to us. So on the basis of the above ground, they must take benefit of pension under the old pension system instead of the new pension system. And the other public whose service tenure is long term should participate in NPS so that they can take leverage of the market growth as well.
Thank you, Shivam. I completely agree with your answer.
But I have a doubt. Under the old pension scheme, all the burden was borne by an individual. So there was no requirement of monthly contribution from employer. Uh, Hence, employer used to get a greater monthly disposable income, which enhanced the country's GDP.
Yes, Shraddha, you well explained your informative view, but I am not agree with this old concept because I certainly believe in reforms. Every sector needs reforms. Since 1991, we are going towards reform. So NPS is established as a part of this reform pension system, right? So it is very important to address this issue. We cannot address it as an employee secretary, as this is simple, systematic, flexible, and as well as for economic development, this is necessary. So it is fair to go back to the OPS, Kajal.
No, absolutely not.
But the nation is made from the people in the country, and the people I think the people who will retire, I think they don't have the proper knowledge about the this national pension scheme. So initially what they have to do is pursue or acquire the information regarding the market structure, its ups and downs, companies' return on investment, taxes, etc. So the question again arises from where they are going to make their future secure if they are not aware of that new national pension scheme.
Okay, Ayush, I would like to answer that as we all know, being static in this dynamic world is not opportunity seeking strategy. So why in case of pension, why being so static? So you can see the current generation is highly indulged in investment in share markets and all. So still, as Ayush said, there are actually certain group of people which lack an awareness regarding the NPS or investment criteria. For this, NPS makes this investment criteria very simple. First of all, you can choose your pension fund manager, which got updated in November 2023. Now you can choose different fund manager for different asset classes. Secondly, it has two options. First is the active choice and second is auto choice. Under active choice, subscribers actively participate, but in auto choice, all the allocations of investments are done by our pension fund manager. It consists of the three criteria. First is aggressive life cycle fund, which is for highly risk taking subscribers, and second is moderate life cycle fund, and third is conservative life cycle fund for low risk subscribers. Sorry. Thank you.
But I think if national pension scheme is that much is good, then why some of the states like Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Punjab has not been adopted it. Even some of the states has adopted it earlier, but after some time they got back towards the old pension scheme. And as far as I know, one of our member depending old pensions, depending national pension scheme is from the state which is still in the favor of old pension scheme.
Okay, Ayush, you mentioned that some of states are adopting this old pension scheme, right? I think this is only because of political aspect. My view on this that if they are doing so, they are going bad fiscal irresponsibility. So here fiscal deficit is more concern. These states are not mentioning economic value. They are hypocritically not going to upwards. So NPS is good as we can accept it as in a one nation and one pension.
Very well explained, Hema. So now if we look at the data, Uttar Pradesh is spending 36% of its tax revenue on just paying the pension. Himachal Pradesh is spending 79%. Bihar is spending 58% of its revenue in only paying the pension. So if a state is spending 30 to 50% of its tax revenue in just paying the pension, then how it will run the state? So the concern arises that if old pension scheme is putting burden on revenue expenditure of the government, then in near future government have to increase the tax rates, and this will further lead to the high inflation in our society. So if old pension scheme is desirable in short run, then definitely it will gonna hamper our population in long run. So any scheme which is not beneficial in long term, we should avoid that and we should improvise that. This is why a new pension system came into existence in 2004. So with this I would like to end this session. I would like to extend my thanks in regards to my fellow speakers, department and our faculty members for giving us the opportunity. Thank you so much.